This is the story of a dog named Bruno, who was found with almost nothing left in the world. He had a heavy chain around his neck and a single, torn, grease-stained pizza box nearby. When rescuers found him, rain was pouring down, soaking his thin fur. He was so thin, cold, and empty that his eyes looked hollow. He didn't even bark or cry. He had learned that making noise did nothing, so he had just given up on being heard and waited in the silence. This wasn't a new feeling for Bruno. He had been locked away for most of his life, never allowed to do the simple things a dog should do, like run or play. His entire life was spent on the end of a chain. Then the people he knew, his owners, just left him. They moved out of the trailer and drove away, leaving him chained up all alone with only cold, hard concrete beneath his paws. With no food or water, he survived by licking the grease from old, discarded boxes. He was completely forgotten, invisible to the world, just waiting, still chained to that same spot. Then, one day, something finally did change. A rescue found him in that awful spot and posted his heartbreaking picture online. The post found its way to a man's phone, who instantly sent it to his daughter. It was just a photo, but something in Bruno's eyes called out to them. It was a look of hopeless waiting that they just couldn't ignore. They didn't even have to talk about it. Without a single hesitation, they contacted the rescue and adopted him, ready to show him what a real home felt like. For the first time in his entire life, Bruno stepped into a real home. It wasn't a cage or a chain by a trailer, it was just warmth. He stepped inside, hesitant, and was surrounded by soft beds and kind voices. And with that warmth, Bruno began to bloom faster than his new family ever imagined. The dog who had completely given up on life was suddenly full of a quiet kind of life. In just 2 weeks, this once-forgotten dog was curled up at his family's feet, fast asleep, knowing he was finally safe. His eyes were no longer hollow. They were full of wonder. He was finally learning how to be a dog. He would go outside and chase butterflies in the yard. The once silent dog now wagged his tail at strangers on walks. He was learning to trust again. In the evenings, he would come and rest his head gently in his owner's lap, as if he had always belonged there. Now, Bruno's life is completely, beautifully different. His old, dark life is gone. There are no more chains, no more yelling, and no more cold concrete. His new life is filled with joy, freedom, and simple things he'd never dreamed of, like long walks on the beach, car rides, and soft, warm mornings spent napping by the door. Bruno reminds his new family every day that healing is possible. He is living proof that it's possible to trust and be happy again. His owner says that saving a life is an amazing thing, but sometimes that life ends up saving yours, too. For her, Bruno saved her. Tell us your rescue story in the comments.